Hello everyone, and welcome to the back nine of round 2 here at the PDGA Champions Cup presented by Bushnell here in Appling, Georgia, also part of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. I'm Erika Stinchcomb. Joining me here is
Raven Klein.
Couldn't find a goose to replace Madison, but we did get a raven. We're at the International Disc Golf Center watching Kristin Tattar, Finley, Hailey King, and Eveliina Salonen. Hot story of the day is Kristin's front nine. Just look at it.
So clean. I really like seeing it. Holly ended up playing even on the front nine. Very active card, but composed as ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like nothing can face Holly out there. Let's see. Playing a little harder today, but conditions, they're a little windy. But they're pretty similar to yesterday. It just shows the woods can get you at any time.
Hole 10, we have a 606-foot par 4. This one, you really want to turn something to just kind of hit this gap on the right side. And then your approach shot actually goes downhill a little bit. But if you're straight, you'll have kind of a forehand approach and or some kind of turnover that lands lightly in the ground.
Yeah, I always like to see how aggressive people get on this tee shot. You can kind of just throw like a mid even or a fairway driver to the corner and kind of split up the hole evenly, or you can try to get around the corner and give yourself an easier second shot.
I do love the aggressive first shot, but I feel like people sleep on the idea of lining up your first and really going aggressive on the second.
Oh man, I try to do that and I often fail. So I get wanting to just go big on the first one. Holly does hit a tree, but she
kind of just went a little, she's faded out left a little more than you'd want.
Yeah, she's all the way up at the corner though, so we'll see how much she has. And that looks beautiful there from Kristin. That's really a pretty prime landing spot.
Basically your target.
Gold line St. Pro. Love the way she throws that disc. Just shapes it beautifully. All right, and that's kind of the straighter play to the corner, like I was talking about. Wraith, I believe, for Hailey. Looking to go big. Pushing too straight.
I feel like that's the most common error that you see on this hole with people who are trying to go for it, is that they just don't get it to hold on to that angle long enough and they go too straight.
Definitely. Terry Miller in the background there.
Terry.
Just trying to dodge that disc. Love you, Terry.
We just got to tell him to stand in the middle next time, since they're all kind of aiming for him.
Right. Evelina's second shot, I thought was
just
too
pure.
turned over,
Wow.
but has quite a bit of stability to get back and give herself a putt for birdie.
There's that smile.
Love it. That's my favorite. That was her TL3. She did that for the first and second shots. And Holly with a trickier look here in this corner. Solid.
It's a great shot to get up further from where she was.
That pinkish ribbon marks 150 feet left of work to do on the hole. I love that they did that. I haven't seen that before. Like every hole has those ribbons at, I think, I can't remember the long one, but 300 and 150 feet.
I think was it orange or something?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was awesome.
Oh, with the claymore?
Yeah, she throws that disc a ton, and it really
It's
holds
such a
kind
great
of
disc.
whatever line you put it on, especially if you're Kristin.
I think she just has a contract with her discs.
Oh, man. Hailey gets most of the way up there, though she's in the woods. Sometimes these little rough spots can be tricky. Holly's third shot.
Very smooth upshot there from Holly.
I think it's a Mako. Yep. Tricky. Believe this is a pig. Solid. Can't go through the trees, you just got to go up and over a little bit.
I think one of my favorite things about this course is how tall and like mature the trees are, because you don't deal with as much brush on some of these holes, so you have that possibility of going over.
Yeah.
But
They also did a pretty good job of clearing out a lot of the little stuff.
there are people on the course all week just continuing to clean stuff up, which was great.
That feels like Kristin's first mistake of the round. Like, it's probably not, but it feels like it. And at least it was for birdie and not for par.
True.
Man, Eveliina just not quite giving it enough juice to get into the bucket. Holly Finley.
Great putt from Holly.
No
Get her
stranger
par.
to juicing. No.
Oh, that hit so many chains.
Yeah, it was a little high left, but looked pretty good. That would have been a really cool par save.
Eveliina's still grabbing her par there. I know we had the bogey there on that hole, but this lead card played it fairly well with those pars, and it was playing as the 6th hardest.
Yeah, 3 of them. I mean, yeah, they all did a really good job to get up there. Hole 11 is a par 3, 420 feet. I would call it unreachable, except we saw people reach it, Kristin being one of those people. You just want to throw an Anheuser that's really tall that keeps fading to the right. I want to see someone throw a roller, so if they
Ella
can make that
Hansen
happen.
actually did throw a roller on this hole.
Well, I just have to watch her then. Roller.
She's thinking about it.
I love the focus every time we zoom in on Holly's face. Like, her game she just looks
beautiful.
so dialed. Oh yeah,
Oh, just a little early.
Just a little. I would say early right is a little worse than to push too far straight or even fade out left.
Well, there's a slight patch if you do push straight through the fairway.
It's a little
basically
clear.
Opens up again behind the last trees that you can see on the left side. So I would definitely choose that over early right.
That was really solid. Grace from Kristin to get to, looks like almost circle 2.
She fell a little short on the fairway.
I
She
mean, you'll
had
still take
low
that.
release. Yes.
Every time.
This
Wow.
looks great.
That is a destroyer.
Okay.
And just thrown with so much power, perfect angle control. She's about 40 feet. A little early. In the middle, though.
That same angle that Hailey and Eveliina went for is really, I think, the best way to reach the basket. But you got to give it that height.
This also looks early on the forehand. Got to kick out into the fairway, and Hailey has maybe 75 feet to go. Holly, at least on the edge here, and she's pretty good at her angle control. Yeah, more than pretty good.
More than pretty good.
Yeah, super good shot. She still obviously has some work left to do, but that's a tough spot to be in. Kristin for a pretty routine upshot. A little short.
Just throwing those last two a little bit low, but online.
Really taking another bogey, unfortunately. Holly, what would you say, 50-ish?
Probably. Online, but just a little low. She seems all right with it.
Yeah. I mean, a bogey on this one, though not great, like you're not losing a ton of strokes because there's not going to be a lot of birdies out there on this one.
No.
Good run.
This is definitely one of the longer par threes.
Were there any birdies?
On this hole today, there were 0 birdies.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think even yesterday were only, what, 2?
Yeah, and I think we watched them both.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was Paige and Eveliina.
Yeah, exactly. So
That was
it is rare. This is proof that it's hard to get this birdie.
Seem like they're having a good time.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's a beautiful property. It's hard to not enjoy yourself while you're out there.
Perfect weather, too.
So here we have hole 12. It is 861 foot par 5. Off the tee, you're really just trying to get through this gap. The left side is a little bit easier than the right side, but then you have another split. So if you line up perfectly, it's hard to not be tempted by that left gap, but this right gap for the flyover is definitely your wider and easier approach. And this is a bit of a pump, but as you kind of come into the basket, there aren't as many guardian trees as some of the other fairways we've seen.
To me, this is like a perfect par 5. You know,
It really is.
the distance is good. You have options. You know, there's quite a bit of technical aspect. And it's open in places and tight in places. It's got it all.
It really does.
Ooh.
Oh, that was great.
Definitely challenging those trees more than she wanted, but you can't argue with that distance
That is
either.
exactly where you want to be. Off the tee, you've got those trees separating the left and right fairway. You really don't want to get stuck in the trees on the left side.
Pretty understable disc there from Holly. Going on that
Seems like
right
it
side.
worked out okay.
Yeah, it's not a bad spot.
Kristin turning that over a little bit more with a great roll.
Yeah. It was a little windy today, and I would say by the road on this hole was the first time you like really felt it and had to think about the wind. I believe it was a bit of a headwind. So might be
That
why we
makes
saw
sense.
Holly's and Kristin's turnover more than is kind of typical for them. Oh, look at this.
That's a great shot.
Smashed.
There we go.
Whew. Beautiful line. She gets all the way up to where
So-
Eveliina is.
Hailey and Eveliina just carving up that tee shot.
Eveliina having a good break there to get through the trees. But yeah,
Or she's a magician.
you're right. You're right. We don't know. Holly, again, shaping that Anheuser line, taking that right side, much wider fairway.
The right side is definitely the way to go.
You're right, though. Sometimes you land in a spot
If
that
you-
kind of, maybe not, it kind of forces you to take the left.
If you get a little bit too close to that island of trees in the middle, you kind of just have to stare down that hallway and be like, okay, it's you
Gotta
and
do
me
it.
now.
Right. That was a huge second shot from Kristin.
Yeah, that was
She
great.
should be able to make easy work of the birdie.
It looks like Hailey's taking the left.
Yeah, just line
Just
up
right
so
there.
perfect. And overturned, but gets through everything. Is she pretty
gonna
close to
be-
circle two?
Yeah, it looks like maybe just outside.
Still.
Hard to say if she got any more ground play, but
So, Eagle bid.
I would say it's on the table.
Eveliina also just right at the mouth of this
Come
gap.
on.
2 unbelievable
Woo.
tee shots. And this,
Wow.
so pure. Wow.
That was beautiful.
Let's see, that was it. She went destroyer, and then that one also a destroyer. The way Eveliina can handle those high-speed discs and still carve those tight lines is so impressive.
Agreed. Yeah. Good upshot from Holly. Getting herself just outside the circle.
Kristin got way up here on her second shot, leaving just that forehand harp shot she's pretty comfortable with. And puts it to 15, 20? Couldn't quite tell. It's not totally what you want here. was well done.
With where you're at, getting the right inside the bullseye.
Holly for a long birdie look.
Oh.
Eveliina for eagle. No.
Oh, sit down.
No.
Ugh.
Oh, it's the same. It's slightly worse. All right, Eveliina for a slightly longer putt for birdie.
Darn it.
Yeah, pretty rough.
Such an unfortunate break to be up there for that eagle. There we go. Cash in the birdie.
Man, just playing so clean.
There were less birdies today on this hole, but there were also like almost 10% less bogeys.
Okay.
So people kind of just played it cleaner as the par 5.
Overall.
Yeah.
There's a smile. Casual birdie from Hailey. Hole 13 is a pretty long par 3. It plays a little downhill, so it feels a lot more gettable than the stats say, I think. Put like a straight pushing forehand that fades at the end, or a backhand turnover, again with that late fade. Both pretty technical shots are what you're trying to do. Early on either side is really bad. I would say the left leaves you with a little bit more opportunity to get to the pin than the right side.
It's definitely more clear on the left side. You're still going to have a couple trees, but there's not as much of that undergrowth.
Another grace from Kristin. Overturned, but far enough down there that she should be able to scrape together a par, hopefully. I believe this is a Roadrunner.
She can get through
Not bad.
a little bit early, but
Snuck through most of it.
that's definitely the line. That
10 feet to the left.
10 feet to
It's
the
perfect.
left. Not the line, the shot shape.
There you go.
Not the line.
No, it's not the line. That was a strike from Eveliina, and she's pretty far up there as well.
Bit of an early release there.
Yeah, it was. You could tell it was starting to kind of flip up and turn to the right before it hit that tree. The shape looked like it was there, and to kick right here is so punishing. Like, this is awful. That's not awful. It's pretty good.
Ooh.
No,
Darn it.
just shut your mouth until the shot happens and then talk about it.
About nailed that girl on her phone. She didn't even know.
Have to be aware at all times on a disc golf course.
Definitely.
This area of the course gets really tricky because you get back up by hole 1 and by hole 14, so there's a lot of action to be distracted by.
Beautiful harp up shot there from Kristin. She had that one bogey and then just went straight back to playing super clean.
Great upshot. Nice little tap in.
Man, still tricky for Holly.
Doesn't phase her.
No, just chopped right through that branch. Any birdies on this one today?
There were no birdies on this one
I think
today.
there was only a couple. Were there yesterday? I don't know.
That's what's so interesting about this hole, because when you look at it, with the downhill in the distance, you would think there would be a couple more, but one bad kick or a couple trees in your way, and you're just trying to get that par.
Mm-hmm. Solid connection.
Just cleaning up the hole here.
Yep, par solid on this
Couple
one.
pars, one lone bogey.
Let's see what's happening. Wow, Kristin, pretty solid lead here. Valerie Manduhano also 4 down. She is finished with her round. That is an excellent round. Jennifer Allen, Paige Pierce both 2 down, and then everyone else over par.
It seemed like just the entire course today and the whole field was playing just a little bit harder than yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Hole 14, we have a 579-foot par 4. You're really going to want to try and stay on the right gap. I think it opens up fairly nicely if you're going to hyzer in. The tight gap, though, will give you a straighter look at trying to hit this opening as you come in toward the green. So I think it's a fun par 4. I think it's very gettable. And you can see the birdie still.
Yeah, definitely a lot of placement here. This first shot requires a good amount of power to crest this hill, something Kristin Tattar doesn't ever seem to have a problem with. That is just so beautiful so far.
If you have a disc that you can really push on the hyzer, it's great on this tee shot, because the further left you can get, the straighter you can look at that basket.
Mm-hmm.
Just cutting through.
Also really solid. Anything, crested a few feet over that hill and you'll have a chance to get the birdie. Boom. Whew.
Love that.
Mm-hmm. Good looking shot from Holly as well.
There we go. 4 for 4. Getting up there.
All right, so now I wonder, there is kind of a tight straight gap that Holly's lining up here.
It is. I actually really do like trying to go for it with a backhand turnover, but I've seen a lot of women do a forehand approach if they've got that distance.
It kind of looked like Holly was just pitching up to take the par. It does shape up pretty well for this forehand here that we're seeing from Hailey, though that needs to be so much wider. Ooh. She'll be all right.
Yeah, she's still in the gap. She'll be fine getting her par.
I would say the way the shape is, it like baits you into throwing a forehand, but the angle can be tough. Ooh, look at this inside angle.
I thought that was going to be nice. I do agree, the forehand, even if you hit that gap, you might find yourself in a blocked off circle 2 putt. So
It's interesting. Everyone kind of going that inside route instead of trying to go out and around.
Which I think is why I like the turnover better for that.
Right.
Or Holly's play, laying it
Yeah.
up and just having a straight shot at the basket.
Know when to just play for par. Par is great.
Getting through.
Probably, I like 18 feet. That's my
I would
go-to.
say-
I don't know,
that's
15,
my
20,
go-to.
18.
Nice, easy layup there. A little approach. These are some of the trees you can get caught behind if you have that forehand that just bites, because there's the road that goes through. And I've seen a lot of people, that's kind of like the distance where their forehand goes, and you get really blockaded.
Yeah, you can. But all these ladies so far just
I was saying, it's
pitching
doable.
up for their pars, and it's not a problem. Summer.
Oh.
Good par there from Kristin.
Keeping it clean. The unfortunate bogey there from Hailey.
Yeah, Hailey and Holly just looking to clean it up a little bit. Next hole,
Good par.
new chance.
Those are so uncharacteristic.
Being a PDGA member gives you access to not just play the sport, but to engage and compete with your local community. An active PDGA membership gives you access to over 6,500 sanctioned events around the world. From local leagues and tournaments, all the way up through the majors, everyone has the opportunity to play. These are an amazing way to get engaged with your local disc community. Get started on your disc golf journey today. Visit pdga.com/join.
Hole 15 is a par 4. It's 543 feet. Very technical first shot here. You're throwing kind of a gentle turn over. Yesterday I said you want to land at the top of this hill, but our lead card ladies really just showed us that you can power through the hill. And honestly, skipping left, which I didn't think that much about, really kind of opens up that second shot. If you're on the right, it calls for more of like a tight forehand or really technical turnover shot, but on the left, you can kind of just throw something straight. So we'll see if that's the play today as well. Right then left. That's what we're looking for.
That's looking nice.
Yeah, that's solid. It's a little on that right side. Thanks, Terry.
What a guy. I do agree, though, that left side is, I think, a much nicer way to approach, even if it has to be kind of a touchy forehand or something that gets you to just sit on the hill.
Mm-hmm. But
yeah, come out of it.
prior to watching the feature card yesterday, I would say that this is more like the typical play, kind of right side, just trying to land kind of at that biggest opening.
Mm-hmm. I would say in some of the early practice and seeing people almost accidentally went left,
Right.
either on
And
like
was
a
like,
flare,
oh, this is good. This is cool.
and then you realize that you're like, oh, so not quite that left, but hitting the top of the hill and getting like a flare, not actually as bad as
No, it's pretty good.
you might think.
Hailey on that left side, but early. This is
Well, it's looking
great.
beautiful from Holly.
Oh, and look at it fade out at
Wow.
the end.
I almost just started clapping.
Yeah, perfect shape.
Not a bad place to be.
Yeah, just kind of more awkward than anything else going downhill, trying to control your speed and deal with 100 trees.
Mm-hmm.
She's about pin high, maybe 70 feet left.
I saw a couple people almost lay up a little bit short, hoping for that ground play of just sliding down the hill.
Totally.
And I think it's great.
And
Darn.
and that's pretty typical what we saw from Kristin as far as like she's a little on that right side, pretty narrow gap trying to control that forehand. It's pretty tough. Eveliina's far enough up here that she might be able to throw something a little touchy, a little straighter.
That little kick there to the left. Looks like she got pretty far down there, though.
Holly landing in the ideal spot to give her a little bit bigger of a gap than we saw from the other two ladies just now. Oh, she'll have a chance for a birdie. It's a kind of a risky putt, though. There's that little kind of stream. I don't even think you can call it a stream. Standing water gully back there that you really don't want to land in.
Yeah. I will say it's nice because it's not OB.
Yeah. But
it is tricky footing.
not where you want to putt.
Not where you want to putt from.
Eveliina with a little stepper. Getting it to 3 feet. Knocking a pine cone out of the way.
That pine cone shouldn't have been there.
Just slowed it down nice. It's good.
Oh, it was a good pine cone.
Yeah, yeah. Holly going to a knee here. Oh,
Oh, wow.
I like it.
Oh, sit down. Okay.
Good effort. I like going to a knee, going downhill, kind of put yourself level with the basket. Handy little trick.
Seemed like a good bid.
Yep, Hailey will just have to settle for that par.
Oh, great catch by the basket.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so hard it almost flipped backwards.
I feel like I've seen that a couple times today with Kristin and Holly's putts.
Yeah. Couple of pars here for Kristin and Hailey. And Holly. Star par? Right?
I think so. Well,
I mean,
yes.
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 I feel like you don't get that many star pars or star frames
No.
here at WR Jackson.
Here we have hole 16. It is a 297-foot par 3. This is one of I think the first hole where OB actually comes into play. Along the right side here, you're going to see a lot of people probably throwing more of a turnover backhand. The forehand, you have the possibility of skipping over into this creek, which you want to avoid. But if you have something that's going to land soft.
We did see a couple forehands on the feature card yesterday, which I was surprised to see. I also think
I was surprised, honestly, to see that.
and that it calls for more of the gentle turnover. That is 2-turn. Honestly, that's not a bad tree.
And there's a little like pocket of land about pin high to the right side of the basket.
Mm-hmm.
So you see a good amount of people land there if they're really pumping the turnover.
Mako 3 here from Eveliina. Pretty cool. She has a power to throw a mid-range. Pretty rough kick that has her going towards out of bounds, but then she catches that last little buffer tree, and I think she's safe. It might be kind of hard to see on camera, but the string line and stakes, they come up fast on that right side.
They really do. They open up at the end of the hole, but early on.
Yes,
it's a beautiful
Hailey.
shot.
A gentle turnover is one of the most satisfying things to watch in our sport.
Yeah. Well put.
Thank you. And Holly going more that outside
Just kind
line.
of punching straight up. I did see some people take that play where they just went straight and kind of got pin high, but it does leave you with a little bit more of a death putt.
Mm-hmm. And in Holly's case, really having to scramble around a couple little trees, but that was a great floaty little upshot. Probably about 18 feet. What do you think?
If I had to guess,
Yeah.
probably I'm going to say 18.
Uh-huh.
Good answer. Good answer.
Kristin pretty deadly with that harp. Eveliina, this is just a casual ditch. No out of bounds.
My favorite kind of ditch.
Yeah, just chilling. And looks like the bullseye. Totally 18 feet.
I was going to say like 18 inches maybe. The number. Oof.
Left side again. Only taking a bogey here. Nice birdie.
Great birdie from Hailey.
Looking like Eveliina and Kristin with the pars. Holly with the bogey. What's crazy is this is like one of the easiest holes, but it's not.
Wait, that's actually a mask.
Yeah.
It is not. Yeah.
Facade.
It's a facade.
Hole 17 is a par 4, 525 feet. It is a pretty narrow, straight shot. If you can get most of the way or all of the way up this hill, I mean, I'd be impressed all the way up this hill. But if you can land in the middle, kind of where that sun patch was, and then take this right side that the drone is flying through, there are some openings on the left side up the hill, but it's much, much tighter. It's the distance. It seems like it should be pretty doable, right? 525, but this tee shot is a monster.
Off the tee, it's a bit of a pump to get up to the top, and I feel like what you see most often is people landing on this right side, and it does not leave you a very open shot. You see a lot of either really tight forehands or backhand pat and pendings, just trying to get through that gap, and it is on a hill.
Yeah, you
to
see
add to it.
all the shot names, the obscure ones, and like we're gonna see one probably from Kristin here. It's so rough over there. That was a bad kick.
That one moved for quite a while after the tree.
Yeah, you're right too. Even if you land in the perfect spot, the footing can be pretty tough
That
to attack.
looks great. Come on.
More than
Yeah.
great.
Oh my gosh.
More than great. Luxurious, the top of the hill.
That's like the penthouse of lies right there.
Destroyer again. I know, that's amazing. To throw a destroyer that straight through that gap, even turn it a little bit, like, what are you doing?
Oh,
Okay, thank you.
Right shape. Just caught that kind of not last tree, but last big one. Oh, I was there the other day.
and how was it?
It's not good. It's really hard not to hit your hand on the tree. Did you see Holly
Yeah.
pull her hand at the last second? That's
Yeah.
pretty well done.
As someone who has done that,
Yeah.
I would recommend not doing it.
Yeah.
Don't hit your hand on a tree.
Wow, Kristin showing us kind of this
Oh, wow.
thicker left side.
What trees?
Yeah,
That was
all she
beautiful.
needs is like a 2-foot gap, and she can just, pipe it, no problem. Hailey, looks like she's going out and around. Again, this right side is the wider side.
That looks like
and
a really nice shot.
great touch.
She's really been having solid, like the touchy up shots this round.
Yeah, definitely. Holly, this would be an amazing scramble from that tree.
Oh yeah, come right out.
Ooh, looking pretty amazing.
Kristin was off on her own hike down
This-
that hill.
This is Evelina's drive. Yeah, Kristin was way down there. Wow. A little
Little
short
more,
left
yeah.
on the upshot, but still.
But yeah, I cannot stress that drive enough.
I'm amazed this is where Kristin is after seeing where her drive landed.
Do it.
And birdie?
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
that would have been too much. Still, excellent scramble. Wow.
Sit down.
Holly for par.
I feel like she's just catching a lot of chains right now.
That one looked a lot more centered, and it
Yeah.
just spun off. It was an interesting, you don't normally see that.
There we go.
Not a lot of people putt.
That's a great birdie.
Yeah. Good to see her connect on one of those kind of bigger putts too.
Yeah.
25. Not a gimme by any means.
Especially with this downhill.
Yeah, it can be risky running this putt. It can roll. You can miss and sail down the hill. Good comebacker there from Hailey.
Eveliina was one of only 3 birdies on this hole today. It was her, Kona, and Aria Castrita.
Great birdie.
Yeah.
Good
And this
feeling.
hole went from being 4th most difficult to the 2nd most difficult today.
Yeah. I believe
Which
that.
you can see, I mean, that tee shot.
Demands everything
Tricky.
you've got. Yeah.
And we bring us to hole 18. It is a 590-foot par 5. You start with a nice uphill shot, and you're really trying to aim I would say for that sun patch right there, it lets you have a flip up or like a hyzer into the green. You have a lot of women in this field who are trying to get this eagle. I know I've heard quite a few people talking about it. So
It's there for the taking for sure.
yeah, this did play as the easiest hole.
Yeah. Another one of those kind of softer par fives, but we need some of those out here, right? You want to be able to score.
And there it is. Ooh,
Boom.
wow. Right into that sun patch.
That was a TL3. I really like measuring things in sun patches.
I think it's a good measurement.
Yeah.
You know?
Like highlights the landing zone.
Oh, that's an unfortunate kick.
Yeah, she was a little right side, but if she could kick to the left, she'd still be, pretty viable from there.
And she should still be able to get the par.
Yeah, but you want to get the
But
birdie.
you
on
want
this
the
one.
birdie.
Come on.
Oh, I know.
Beautiful shot there from Kristin.
Chasing birdies.
Raven, you're from Minnesota, right?
I am
Do
indeed.
you breathe on your discs from like?
I
Holly
had
does?
actually never seen that
No?
until Holly, and I was like, maybe I should have been. But no, I
I was wondering if it was like a kind of Midwest or like upper Midwest thing.
suppose it makes sense. You have some people who will put like a hand warmer in a beanie, and you can keep your most used discs in there. And
Good
kind of
trick.
keeps it. Yeah, so there's a little pro tip.
Solid shot there from Holly.
I think I breathe on my hands more than my face.
Haley with a tough angle here, but
It was
birdie's
definitely
still
more
in
open.
play, honestly.
It was more open than I expected it to be on that.
Ooh. Wow, look in your chops. The angle here is really tough. It's not just a hyzer.
Oh, come on.
No, it's too wide.
Kick out. You do not want to be in that patch of trees on the right. Like, you can get out, but it is not.
With a lot of
Fun.
heartache, yeah. Where Kristin is on this right side opens up the line a little bit.
Is that her claymore again?
It looks like it.
Oof.
She gets the good kick, though.
She did, yeah. Definitely moving up that fairway.
She almost had that line perfect.
I feel like the line you were talking about, it's not, you want to push forward more than you just want a hyzer.
Yeah.
So you're going to see a
it's
lot more of
tricky.
a flip up, but
it's-
it's such a small gap.
It's kind of why you see
For
these
the flip.
ladies pushing into those trees, though, because you kind of have to. Really solid upshot from Haley. And I think Kristin's closer for her eagle than she was yesterday, so let's just count it.
Just, yeah. So we're good.
Ooh.
That's a beautiful
Yes.
shot. You love to see it.
AVR 3.
I know people
From
don't
like a
love
deep
doing
lunge.
it, but I love patent pendings.
Yeah. I like getting them right.
That's fair. Oh, I mean, just do it. Oh, it looked so much further
Yeah.
from here.
Cameras.
Cameras. It's kind of like how people say the camera adds 10 pounds. It just adds 10 feet.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Ooh, tricky little framed up shot here for Kristin for eagle. And she'll be taking a birdie. And I believe that will be a 5 down for Kristin on the round.
That's a good
Assuming
move there
she
from Haley.
makes this.
Saving the birdie.
I mean, for real, where she was off the tee, great birdie.
Yeah.
Wow. Only one bogey on the day, 6 birdies.
Yeah, there were, what was it, 3 eagles yesterday. 1 eagle today
Oh.
from Natalie Ryan.
Very nice.
And most of the field, it was 93% of the field was in circle 2 in regulation.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's, oh,
Eveliina really cleaning it up kind of this last stretch of holes.
yeah.
Getting some birdies,
Feeling a little
making
more
some
confident in the
putts.
putt. Mm-hmm. Yep. But yeah, I mean, 78% of the field birdied this hole. So just playing some good golf.
Yeah, Kristin definitely the story of the day. Haley and Holly both kind of having a lot of birdies, but some bogeys out there too. Eveliina, I didn't realize, like pretty
So clean,
perfect
yeah.
back nine.
Yeah.
Jeez. Even
She had, I think it threw us off because she had a couple of those eagle and birdie looks.
Right.
So they felt a little more heartbreaking, but
Yeah.
she played super clean.
All right, so Alexis Mandujano moving up and taking Holly's place here, and then Paige with a 4 down, shooting all the way up into second place. So a little bit different of a feature card tomorrow.
But looks great, and like we were saying earlier, it looks like the field, it just played a little bit tougher today.
Yeah.
So
Well,
could have been the wind. Not for those ladies.
The Mandujanos both shot 4 down.
They
so
were just
pretty awesome. Thanks again to our VIP members. It's $10 a month if you subscribe at that link down there. Supports GK Pro, supports the FPO coverage, supports me and my friend Raven here. Thank you so much for joining us here at round 2 at the Champions Cup. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
And I'm Raven Klein.
We'll catch you next time. Yeah.
Bunch of birds
We're
hanging
some
out.
birds.